I kept staring at the text until the letters quit looking like language. For simple words, I'm with someone new, and somehow they felt like a blade. For a second I convinced myself she typed it wrong. Maybe she'd follow it with that stupid little laughing emoji she used when she was joking. But nothing else came. Her name was CLA. We'd been close for years. That strange, fragile category that's more than friendship but never officially called love. We pretended it was platonic. Everyone around us knew better. I was her safe place. The one she called when she was breaking. The one who answered every late-night ring, who listened to her empty her heart over men who treated her like background noise. I told myself that was enough. That eventually she'd notice me. Not as the backup, but as the person she could actually choose. And I built a quiet hope out of that. Piece by piece. Then in 4 words she picked someone else. I could still see her face in my mind, that easy grin, that glow in her eyes when she talked about the things she loved. I used to believe that glow belonged to me someday. Maybe for a moment it did. Maybe that's what broke me most, knowing it was real, but never quite mine. My thumb hovered over the keyboard trying to compose something that didn't sound pathetic. Good for you. I'm happy for you. None of that was true. I felt scraped out, burned empty. Like every small, quiet fantasy I had built now smoldered in ashes. So I didn't reply. Not right away. I let her message sit there, heavy and silent, while my brain replayed everything. The coffee runs. The long drives. That night she fell asleep on my couch after sobbing over another man. I thought she just needed time. Truth was I was waiting for permission. When I finally wrote back, it wasn't rage. It wasn't sarcasm. It was just honest. I hope he treats you the way I did. Because if he doesn't, you'll realize too late what you walked away from. I read it a few times. Then I sent it. It felt like both surrender and strength at the same time. Hours passed. No reply. I kept pretending I wasn't checking my phone every 10 minutes. I washed dishes, played music, scrolled through old pictures. She was in everything. There's a special kind of cruelty in almost love. You craft something pretty, but it's glass. And when one person steps back, it all shatters at once. When she finally answered, her message was soft. You're the one person I didn't want to hurt. I stared at that for a long minute. There was guilt in it. Probably affection too. But not the kind that chooses you. And for the very first time, I didn't want her apology. I didn't want to be her emotional shelter anymore. So I responded. You did. But thank you. Because it made me see what I should have seen years ago. Then I muted the chat. No dramatic goodbye. No final paragraph. Just silence, the kind that felt like peace instead of punishment. That night, I didn't wait for her name to pop up. I put on my jacket and went outside. The air felt lighter. The world felt bigger. And somewhere between the streetlights and the low hum of traffic, I understood something. I hadn't replied to her. I had replied to every version of myself that waited for her approval. The days after that felt strange but clean. Everything I did had her ghost in it. Coffee in the morning. Late night memes. Checking my phone before bed. When she faded out of my routines, the silence stung. But pain is honest. Pain tells the truth. I didn't block her at first. I just stopped feeding the memory. Occasionally she'd appear on my feed, with him. One photo was at the same coffee place where she once said the foam looked like tiny clouds. Now she sat there with someone else. But her smile looked posed. Not the real one. I knew her real one. The one she forgot to protect. Realizing that gave me a strange peace. After that, I stopped looking. I started showing up for myself instead. Went back to the gym. Cooked dinner for one without pity. Read the books I always postponed. Each little habit gave me back a part of me I had given away too generously. Then, months later, she texted again. Hey. How have you been? I stared at it. My chest didn't cave this time. I just felt calm, like the ending was already lived. Maybe things with him weren't what she imagined. Maybe she missed the version of me who would have responded instantly. But I remembered the nights I lost sleep. The days I waited. The times she said, "You're such a good friend," while withholding everything I wanted. So I didn't answer. Sometimes silence is the clearest sentence. A week later, I bumped into her at a bookstore. She looked caught off guard, maybe even nervous. We exchanged polite small talk. Work, life, the usual surface. Then came the quiet, the kind only two people who once knew each other too intimately ever share. She looked at me and said quietly, "You seem different." "I am," I said. I stopped waiting. She held my gaze like she wanted to say more, but couldn't form the words. We smiled, distant, and walked in opposite directions. That night I sat on my balcony with coffee and watched the city glitter. No anger, no ache, just clarity that not everyone is supposed to stay. Some are meant to shake you awake. I remembered those first 4 words, "I'm with someone new," and realized they weren't an ending. They were the first step into a new beginning. The version of me who waited, who gave without receiving, ended the moment she sent that message. And the person who sits here now, steady, whole, peaceful, is someone entirely different. I raised my cup to the night and smiled. Sometimes losing the person you thought you needed is the moment you finally meet who you were meant to become.